these cows would not die without shade, but we're not into just keeping them alive. We're interested in comfort. The main thing the shade does, A, it gives them comfort, but not, which increases average daily gain, obviously. But secondly, and tender meat. But secondly, it allows us to put the manure out in the field right where we want it, rather than somewhere that the cows want to put it, like under a tree or up on the same hill every time, or under the same, whatever. And so this allows us to get the manure where it'll do us the most good, rather than where the cows necessarily want to deposit it. It's a fertility placement program. We bought that at Lowe's? Yeah. That was Dad's really first, that was his first big infrastructure design development here. And of course he thought he had something brand new until we went to Williamsburg and got Aerator, written by John Taylor of Caroline, who was a contemporary of Thomas Jefferson, and quite an agronomist farmer, wrote this book, Aerator. And in the book, he talks about, fertility problems. And he said, what we really need is an ambulatory loafing shelter for cattle. It was kind of, for Dad, it was kind of the way I felt when I thought, we were pretty clever, but inventing all these chicken shelters, for the broilers. And then somebody sent me a woodcut of a crusader's diary. It was with Richard the Lionhearted, going through Normandy, France in the 1500s on his way to the Middle East, and wrote home to his family about the Normandy countryside being dotted with ambulatory chicken shelters and silver pasture. There's nothing new under the sun, But trust me, he would have loved to have corrugated metal roofing, electric fencing, a little bandsaw mill to make little strips of wood, and UV stabilized fabric and all that. We're going to go out here. We're going to go buy the Eggmobile. And then we're going to finish up at the house. At your leisure, you can go to the meadow and please visit the Millennium Falcon feather net. That's the egg production down in the meadow there. The Eggmobile is extensive for pasture sanitation. The Millennium Falcon, the Millennium feather net is that's of course what it's named after. It is there for intensive pastured egg production. That's intensive. This is extensive. This is free range. That's controlled with the netting. So there's two different models for two different objectives. One is egg production. The other is pasture sanitation. This one, the eggs are a byproduct of pasture sanitation. There, the eggs are the objective. So two different models. So we're going to go buy the Eggmobile, and we're going to go back up to the house, and we'll stop and I assume lunch is coming along, or whatever we'll do. Whatever. Kathy's in charge, so whatever she says, that's what we're going to do. All right. So this will kind of conclude the formal part of this tour. And I really appreciate everybody obviously taking their day. You could have been anywhere today, but you chose to be here, and we obviously respect and honor that, and appreciate you coming. And when we'll make the sachet, and when we get up to the house, then you can run and do whatever you want to. But thank you so much for letting me share with you on this tour.